Hi there, I'm Luke, welcome back to PhotoBite. Today we're checking out the DJI Copilot made by LaCie. Let's get into it. So the DJI Copilot is new on the market, and what's really convenient about this hard drive is the fact that you can plug an SD card in it and you can save all your media from a day's shoot onto one of these bad boys. And we've used it for a while now. We're really impressed with how easy it is to use. You literally put the card in and then you press, literally it's run by a single button. You press that, it'll see the cards in there and then it'll copy everything over. So it's really convenient when you're going out on a shoot, and rather than losing your camera bag and then potentially losing all your footage, you can keep them in two different locations. You can have an SD card for one person and then the other person holds onto the hard drive. In terms of memory, this thing is up to 2 terabytes. Now there aren't any other options, although we could see in the future there being a 4 terabyte, and maybe even go down the SSD route, which would be pretty impressive to see. The other ports that you have, you've got your fast charging cable that is provided in the box. You've got a USB and USB-C. You also get a variant amount of cables. So you get USB-C to USB-C, USB to USB-C. So depending on how you have your workflow set up, it'll be convenient either way. The hard drive inside runs at 5400 RPM, so it's not super crazy in terms of speeds. We'll be getting about a 80 to 150 megabyte read speed, which is more than enough for us when we're going out shooting. We tend to, take up about between 5 to 25 gigabytes worth of footage, but obviously because this is designed with DJI, they're more focused around that little micro SD that could potentially go missing. So having one of these things means you haven't got to worry about losing the micro SD card when you're taking out the drone, or leaving it in the drone, and then the next day you're going out for a fly and then you crash it and then your previous day's footage has all been wiped. So having the DJI Copilot on you is super handy to have, especially for backing up and maintaining that security and not, losing a day's footage because you didn't get a chance to go to a laptop, or you went traveling and couldn't bring your laptop. Those different reasons you couldn't bring your laptop. One of these bad boys is going to cover you, no problem. What's also super convenient about this is you get different attachments. So you actually have a cable built in, so you can plug this into your phone and then you can actually see the files coming through. You can play them in real time, so you won't see it as a low res image. You'll see it as the actual footage that's in there. You'll see your raw files if you're shooting, you'll see your JPEGs, all of it. So it's super convenient. And when it comes to being able to rename files, you can do that. When it comes to moving files, you can do that. So they really are allowing people to get the most out of their smartphone, but also get the most out of a hard drive when they're on location, and enable them to help their workflow speed up, rather than having to get home or get back to the office and then having to upload all the videos onto your server or onto a hard drive and then make a copy. You've pretty much done the copy on the field, driving back to the office. So one of these is really convenient. The only issues we've really had is that the screen isn't very bright, so in bright sunlight you really can't see it. It's also quite reflective, as you can tell. So when it comes to being in bright sunlight, you do have to kind of cover it to try and see what you're looking at. The button itself isn't very responsive, so there is a solid click, but it's not very clear what's going on with the DJI. So you can push the button, then the DJI logo will appear and then it will go blank. You've got icons on the top that tell you whether it's charging. There's an SD card in there, your phone's plugged in, and sometimes the charging light will come on even though it's not charging. There's things that can be improved in the next model, but really they're tiny things. All we would ask for is just a more improved screen and hopefully something a bit less reflective. They do have the iconic rubberized edges that we've seen with LaCie, but with it in the middle, even with only having it for about 3 weeks, we're getting dings and scratches and what looks to be some kind of thin layered plastic over the metal. We even have a bit of a ding in it, and this is just from general wear and tear. So over time, there could be more scratches, and the last thing you want is clicking on to open up your screen only to find there's a massive crack through it and now you can't use it. So there are things that could be improved, but overall, it's helped our workflow and it's a good tool to have. And we expect more of these sort of items to come out in the not so distant future, with other companies such as Narbox getting into it. They've been in it for a while now, and now DJI have as well. So we'll be seeing more and more companies doing it along the way. People that we see using it are people that tend to travel a lot, or they can't bring much with them, or they have a strict workflow and they want to speed it up and they're on tight deadlines. this is a super convenient tool to have. When it comes to price, they're just over £320, so they're not overly expensive, but I understand they're not cheap either. But for what they are and what you can do, this really is something worth investing in and getting, whether you have a small company, a big company, or maybe you're an independent filmmaker, or maybe you're a drone pilot. This is a super convenient tool to have. So that's our review of the DJI Copilot by LaCie. If you've got any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, my name's Luke, this is Photobyte, and we'll see you next time.